energy. I love it. Episode
coming in hot.
634. Welcome to Brain Candy Podcast. I'm Susan.
600. I'm Sarah. I wish I had a longer name that I can like. Sarah Louise Whitney Rice.
All hyphenated. Let's just hyphenate.
I love when Susie sends me mail and it's always Sarah Louise.
Yeah, that's my new thing.
It's the best.
Yeah,
the best.
It just felt right.
It feels fun to receive it.
I like
this is great.
I really do like that people kind of think that is your name.
I know, it's great. It's really funny.
And then somebody on Twitter called me Susan Louise Meister Butler, and it made me laugh because you'd have to be a real diehard brainiac to get all of those names right.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. The people are good.
People are good.
Our brainiacs are diehard brainiacs. Let me tell you one of the things that I love more than anything about you brainiacs. Yes, you. Yes, I'm talking to you, lovely people listening.
Yeah.
When they meet up with each other.
It is so nice.
There is a wonderful brain candy community. You guys are so great at reaching out to each other and like being supportive of each other and then like meeting up in different parts of the country. When anybody like goes on a trip, they're like, oh, I'm meeting up with this brainiac in this city. It is the cutest thing. And you know you're going to have fun stuff to talk about. So like, you know, icebreakers already done for you, like taken care of. Got the what are they called? The pleasantries out of the way, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like you hit the ground running. It's so great.
Hit the ground running. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm always
no need for small talk, I guess.
There's certain brainiacs that are very active in the community, and then they're in book club and they're in doc club and they come to our lives, the Zoom thing. And, you know, they always participate. So we really get to know them. But then I'm fascinated by the people that come to all of those things but don't ever talk, which is the majority of the brainiac. Yeah. And I'm like, do you think they want to talk but they just haven't gotten the nerve up, or they just prefer the fly on the wall thing?
Maybe a little of both.
Maybe.
Sometimes I like to be a fly on the wall places.
Yeah, but like you'd think every once in a while you'd want to like pipe up about something.
Yeah. But okay, so people who are flies on the wall, feel free to pipe up. Feel free to
feel free for sure. But maybe they just think it's fun to watch only.
Yeah.
I support it, whatever.
Yeah.
But it
just
is
happy that they're hanging out with us.
Yes, for sure. We love an audience.
All the friends I can get. We do. We love an audience. I do.
Anything you need to share before I start teaching you things?
Oh, I had an interesting experience this weekend. Eli asked to watch, and I have to preface like asked to watch because I don't go around being like, hey, you want to watch my TV show? He asked to watch the challenge, and so I watched two episodes of the challenge. We watched he said, you know, pick a highlight. And
Which
so I picked
season?
the episode where the one I won with Jordan.
Okay,
like,
what
was like one of my best performance. Exes II.
Exes II. Mm-hmm.
And I showed him the episode that came before, so he saw the one because he knows about the Johnny thing. Everybody knows about the Johnny thing. Whenever people say like, oh my God, are you dating Sarah from the challenge? Like, then they'll say like, fuck Johnny Bananas or something like that. So he's like, I need some context. And he had never seen the show. So I showed him that one. And so he now has that. And so maybe one day I will show him the episode, the final with Johnny.
What was his reaction throughout the episodes? He was, his reaction was harder to read, obviously, than my reaction. My reaction is very easy to read. I was caught up in my own reaction to it because I had only watched that like one time. I haven't watched it since. Yeah.
It was the episode where everybody was teasing me and just like, not even teasing me. They weren't teasing me. They were berating me. They were, humiliating me because
what were they mad
of the
about?
decision I made.
About the
because
Johnny thing?
I threw Johnny in and they were just awful. Like, but my mom and I had a nice laugh over. Just the ways people try to insult me are always my favorite because they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Do a crossword puzzle? Oh, what are you gonna do? Go read? Oh, you're gonna go make friendship bracelets? Oh, like I'm like, yeah, yes, I am gonna do those things.
That is what their insults were.
But there were some that, you know, our rule, it's fair as long as it's funny.
Yes.
There was one that I missed when I was on the show. Like, I did not hear it, but I heard it, and I was like, fuck, that's funny, but it's a terrible insult.
Who said it, and what was it?
Johnny and Naya. Mm-hmm. I don't know who created it, but they called me Silly Putty Sarah.
Why?
Because, like, they were saying, like, my body looks like Silly Putty. Like,
Sarah, that is not funny.
well, I mean, it's kind of, to me, it was kind of, like, I was like, that sounds funny. It has, like, a funny
ring to it. But
yeah,
the meaning is so mean.
Terrible.
And hurtful.
My mom was like, I think we could flip that and make it like sound
Silly Putty Sarah.
Yeah.
Holy heck.
But that one, when I just thought about it, I was like, damn, I really did get like chewed out on there. And I just sat there and took it the whole time. I would love to know, like, I would love to sit next to the people in that room who were saying those things as an adult right now, as all these people who are almost damn near 40 years old. I would love to sit next to them, have that play, and just look at them and be like, you good with this? This like, feel good
right.
to you? Do you think, and now some of them have children.
Yeah.
I want to be like, feel good. But would you like your daughter to be talked to this way?
Well,
because it's just shocking to me that humans talk to each other in the way that people speak on that show.
Okay.
I did not mean to talk about this, but now we are.
I think most people grow and learn and think, oh, that was rude. I wish I hadn't said that. Yeah. It was heat of the moment or something. Would you say there was anybody doing it that you think would still be like, yeah, that's fine. Fair play.
Maybe Johnny.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I don't see.
There is
like,
no
I
personal growth.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if. I know Naya would say something. She has. She called me.
Yeah.
And I think Leroy would too. I think.
Yeah.
Newly like a father now, and what he understands about the toxic environment that is the challenge.
Yeah.
I think he would say, yeah, that was messed up. And
yeah. I mean, most people mature.
Right.
But some people do not.
So I had that nice little moment and little walk down memory lane. And, then I realized how much of the show they edited out. Like, my memory, we had to do so much in those finals, and they edited out like 4 of the checkpoints we had, and they didn't put. And I really don't like that they don't put the length of each leg of it. Where they'll just say we're just running from checkpoint to checkpoint, not mentioning that it's 2 miles in between each one of those things.
That
we got to go like 4 times.
To your advantage though, because you could just pretend like it was 10 miles.
Yeah. Like,
be like, they didn't say anything, but this was an actual marathon.
Right. It was really gross. And, it was like a montage of me puking the whole time. So that was fun. He was like, oh, man, so you've always been a puker.
At least, he knows this is just a part of who you are.
But I'm like, everybody puked. They just like to show me puking.
No.
Yes. With what we ate, everyone puked. We drank 6 pints of fish oil and...
There is nothing funnier to me than when Sarah gets deadly serious with me. Yes.
Everyone puked.
Because you're normally so not serious.
Right.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. I do get a tone. I get a tone.
Yeah, she wants you to know she means business.
Yeah.
I don't know how you survived on those shows, Sarah. You're too nice for them. I know that.
I know. Well, I barely survived, so.
That's true.
I only did it it all was so that we can launch the Brain Candy podcast.
Yes.
And just give people, delightful little nuggets of information, none of which I've shared so far. So, Susie.
Yes.
Teach me
Okay,
something.
I'll let him have it. Okay, I have 2 things I have to tell you.
Yeah.
Number 1, a brainiac named Michelle reached out to us and said that she is getting some sort of dental procedure that today.
Right.
And she is going to listen to our episode while she is like hopped up on whatever
Yes!
they give you at the dentist that makes
Yes!
like life really weird. Like, is this
Yes!
real life kind of thing?
I love it.
So she wanted us to make this episode extra funny. I mean, I don't know, because I'm pretty mad about the world right now.
I feel like everything can be funny when you're hopped up on Laugh and Guess.
That's true. We'll do our best. But, I mean, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could go to the dentist and have that gas given to me. I could use that right about now.
I'll take it.
But since I don't have that, I'm going to do some dadgrass
Oh,
instead.
there you go. That'll help. That'll help chill you
That
out.
will take the edge off.
And it might
because
help make things extra funny, too.
It does make things extra funny. It's summertime. Let loose, people. Smoke a joint.
Yeah.
It's
after it.
mostly CBD, but a little bit of THC. So
Tiniest,
it's like,
littlest bit.
seriously tiny.
Yeah.
It's legal organic hemp, relaxes your body, mellows your mind, legal in all 50 states.
It is my favorite thing pre-road trip, like going on a drive. Like when I'm the passenger in a car, and I use the little tinctures. How do you even say that word? I always say it wrong. Tincture.
Yeah.
And I just do one little drop, like little dropper full under my tongue for like 10 seconds, and I am chilled out,
You're
like
just happy.
anxiety free on a car ride, and like that I get really antsy,
Yeah.
and so it just lets me relax, be present. Ooh, I love
Yes. And you keep your clear head, but you feel mellowed out, which everyone needs right now. All Dadgrass products, federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Go to dadgrass.com/braincandy. Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/braincandy. Go to dadgrass.com/braincandy for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/braincandy.
Yes.
I assume you have not yet watched the Victoria's Secret documentary series.
No, but people
People
are tagging us in
abuzz.
this.
Yes. Yeah, it really is, essential Brainiac viewing because it's all the things we're fascinated by, like pop culture, the patriarchy, late 90s, early aughts, that whole dark period.
Yeah. Yes, which was now way more toxic than people really think.
I was saying, though,
since
to
you
my
uncovered
friends
in
how
the-
weird it is, though, that, like, we look back and are like, boy, that was a dark time. We really tolerated a lot, but, like, at least we could get an abortion. You know what I mean? So, like, in some ways, we've gone in the other direction, but in terms of the portrayal of women,
Society
it was still
gives
very...
with one hand and takes with the other.
Yes. Anyway, it's, I believe, a 3-part series, and it's sort of 2 stories. The one story is about the evolution of Victoria's Secret as a company and as a brand, and its impact on culture and how it sold things to women, and the way that it was really just like a bunch of dudes creating a fantasy.
Ugh.
And then women think, oh, you better be a size -2 and have gigantic tits, whatever.
Right.
And then the second story that they're telling is the weird connection between the founder of the company and Jeffrey Epstein.
What?
And
Stop it.
crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
This also raises a lot of questions. Like, even what I knew about the founder of the company, because didn't he end up committing suicide?
No, Jeffrey? Jeffrey
No.
did. The founder's still alive.
I thought there was somebody who sold Victoria's Secret. Then it got big, and then the original person.
Kate Spade did.
Maybe I'm confusing it with another.
Which, by the way, can you believe
story.
Kate Spade was related to David Spade?
No. What?
She was married to his brother, but like to me, that's such a weird.
Yeah, that is
connection.
a random crossover.
Yeah. But yeah, she took her life, but. The guy that men, that run underwear companies, they're sticking around. They don't want to miss a thing.
I just heard a story that somebody, like the original person who started Victoria's Secret, ran the company, and then it was starting to get big, and then somebody came in and bought it, and then it blew up, and then that person, like the original person, felt so bad.
That is all
okay,
false.
so that was a myth, and
yeah, that was definitely made up, or at least another company.
Yes.
This was just some dude who he's a Jewish man, and I forget, we've read about this in some other example. It might have been Ralph Lauren, but they're sort of like these. In this case, he's a Jewish guy who really always wanted to fit in, and so like. His whole own personal narrative is informed by that feeling like an outsider and wanting to be like this all-American, waspy, like Abercrombie and Fitch style, like white, rich, old money type thing. But then, like he's super creepy and weird. And like there were a lot of questions about like, is he gay? Is he into like weird sex stuff with like, whatever. And then when he hooked up with Jeffrey Epstein, and he gave him power of attorney.
What?
Like they had a really weird relationship.
Okay. I go with what my mom says. Hang around with dogs, you get fleas.
Birds of a feather, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Birds of a feather.
Something was
Birds
amiss.
of a feather.
Yeah.
That's the better one for this. Both of them.
Yeah. So, any hoodles.
Birds of a fucking feather.
The third episode really focuses on the Jeffrey Epstein stuff and how it's so convoluted and bonkers, like how it was all intertwined, and just the culture that then was reflected in the way that the company was run is so disturbing. And we're all buying into it and being like, we need to be these angels.
This is why it's so important to, like, why it really does matter to support female-owned, like, lingerie companies and things like that. Or, like, even, like, we have a sponsor, or had a sponsor that was, like, a female, like, tampon company.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
Lola.
Like, these are important freaking things, because I can't think of a situation where there is a lingerie company that is run by men where there isn't a scandal or something in the past, or that because there's no way that those two worlds.
Well, we have totally different agenda. Like
right.
They refused to make maternity undergarments.
Oh God!
Anything that was comfortable, anything that was designed for a body that was not quote unquote perfect.
Even just the vanity sizing,
right,
is like we're telling you that your boobs are bigger than they really are, which matters only to somebody who values you based on the size of your boobs.
Yeah,
and that ain't women.
Yeah, right.
That's men.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was so disturbing.
It's really gross.
It was great to see, though, the downfall and how, like, Rihanna and Fenty.
Yes.
And, like, Third Love were heralded as, like, this wonderful new alternative that actually cares about women being comfortable in their clothing and their undergarments and their lingerie or whatever.
And let me my Third Love stuff is so, like, the Victoria's Secret stuff is so uncomfortable. It's a joke.
And, like, they would
Third Love
ask them,
like,
why don't you have this kind of person in your runway show? Why don't you have this kind of person? They'd be like, this is a fantasy. We don't want trans people. Like, acting like...
I think that is many people's fantasy.
Of course it is.
Who are you saying?
Of course.
That's such bullshit. I hate that. Even with sizes, like, just like the idea that there is a body type that these guys are the expert on what everybody fucking wants. Right. I know so many people who are into curves and into bigger women.
Of course.
And men.
And that's always been true.
It's like, duh.
Right. I know. So it's really compelling to watch. It is
Doesn't
really
make any
disturbing.
fucking sense.
And they're doing the whole thing now where they're like trying to be more inclusive, but it's kind of like too little too late in a way.
Right.
So
It's like if Abercrombie tries to be like,
wait, we like black
diversity.
people. Yeah.
Right. Like, fuck off. Too little too late.
That is on Hulu if you're interested. And I think it's
I
really
want to
good.
watch that.
Okay.
Definitely want to watch that.
Blatz sent me this article, and it is so blowing my mind. It was about how, unbeknownst to me and probably a lot of people, urban planners have been choosing only male trees in the suburbs.
Yes,
And how-
I've heard of this.
I had
we
no
are
idea.
sexist in our
Botany.
which is fucked up. This goes very deep,
Okay.
too.
Tell me.
This also has to do with taking away, because the female ones are the ones that produce fruit often, and the ones that, with that comes sometimes a mess.
Yeah, like pods and...
pods and seeds and flowers and all the fun stuff that's pretty. But what it also does, I follow this wonderful, not to totally bogart your story and take over,
by all
but
means.
there's a wonderful woman on Instagram called, her Instagram handle is Black Forager. And
I followed her.
she teaches about foraging, and she talks a lot about how urban planning was designed in a way to reduce people's ability to forage and gather their own food, and force them into a situation where they're buying from a store or from a...
That's what she and you think was the intention?
But it's an element. It's part of a way that and she like linked it even to like racism in like, where this was done, and early like the history of this, and because when you make them all male and you take away the ability to even like forage and gather your own fruits and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
That was not mentioned. They were focusing on how it basically is the reason why everyone has fucking allergies. And because...
What? Now I'm extra mad!
The male trees produce pollen that goes everywhere, and then there's not a female tree to collect the pollen, so it just goes... And then pollution, when it hits pollen, breaks it up into a gazillion pieces, and so it gets even more destructive to our bodies. It's so disturbing.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the breaking it up in...
Yeah, it's just
where,
a
like,
whole
allergies
shitstorm of pollen, and everyone's like, why are my allergies so bad? Well, it's because these dipshits had botanist sexism.
Yes. And just didn't want to clean the streets up.
Right. I mean, it was all just sort of utilitarian, and they, I'm sure in the beginning they were unaware of what the consequences could be.
Right.
But like now that we know, they're still having a hard time getting people to get on board, because you got to pay for people to clean up the mess anytime.
This seems like a good thing, though. It's like the kind of stimulation package we need. Put money into the environment and things that help. Yeah, and if it creates jobs, somebody then has to clean it. Great.
Yeah. And so
this seems like a wonderful thing.
If you are somebody that's affected by terrible allergies, that might be the reason. And you could call your city planner and be like, yo, get some girl trees up in here.
We need some lady trees.
Yeah. So that blew my mind. I never even knew that was happening.
I feel like there are... Yeah, and I can't believe we haven't talked about this on here, because I feel like I've come across that article or something similar like many times, and we've been like, oh, we've probably talked about this already.
Right.
Because it seems like...
That's right up our alley.
Right up our alley.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You know what else is right up my alley?
Yeah. What?
Rothy's.
Yes, they are.
They are so
man.
up my alley. Do you guys see
just
them in
watched mine the other
every
day.
picture I ever post? Because they're
Yeah.
there. It's like, where's Waldo? Where's
There they are.
Rothy's?
Right.
They're so great. They're my favorite shoes. I simply throw them in the wash anytime they get gnarly, and they come out sparkling and beautiful. They have tons of patterns, tons of colors, tons of styles. Always updating, too. Yeah. Kids versions, dressy, casual, whatever you need. They got it.
I love the sneakers. I think that they're like an elevated look to, you know, like white sneakers or like tennis shoes are like really in right now. But I can't wear like the ones that my mom always says they look like moon boots, like the ones that like the teenagers wear.
Yeah,
that are,
yeah,
like,
I know those
And now
ones.
I get it because like
Yeah.
now and not like that styles back. I'm like, I can't wear that. That's not.
Yeah.
I can't wear.
I
I'm
wore
too
those in
little too old for that.
1999, and I think I was even too
So
old.
I still want to wear the white tennis shoes, but I need it to be sophisticated,
Yes.
elevated, could wear to work, could pair with a little like midi, like knee length or like skirt,
Yeah.
and it looks professional. There you
Yeah.
go.
Is that too much
Rothy's.
to ask? No, it isn't, because Rothy's got
No,
you covered.
got
And
it.
they're made from recycled plastic, so they're wonderfully sustainable.
love that.
Your new favorite shoes are waiting. Discover the versatile styles that you can wear absolutely anywhere and get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/braincandy. That's rothys.com/braincandy for $20 off your first order.
I cannot help but just go to the website and look at the shoes whenever I want the drivers.
Yeah,
bad.
there's so many different styles.
Every
I
single
love the
time
drivers.
we talk about it. Those are so stinking cute.
So cute.
Gosh darn. Oh, the black lace up women's shoes. Okay, back to the show.
Okay, back to reality. Okay, so the trees are sexist, whatever.
Oh, I was going to say about this. I feel like there might be also additional unintended consequences, like what happens when you make an entire area just one gender of a thing. Like, you know how we, like, now we're, oh, excuse me, I had a little burp there. We know that what do they call it? Mass crops or some kind of, it's like there's a reason why we're having a problem with the bees too.
Yeah.
What do they call it? It's like mass crops. There's a name for it. I can't remember the name, but it's like where you have a whole area of just one kind of crop.
Right.
And that bees need diversity in their pollination. And so
Well, that's what they were saying, that like there's
monocrop something. Anyways, I can't remember.
Well, so there's a type of tree that's called monoecious, which is when you're male and female together on the same plant or tree. And so they made them so that it would just be male, to solve this problem, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And so the article even said this is something that doesn't even exist naturally.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, anything like that is just not good for the old circle of life.
It's not, because then you have to, I think there's probably a type of beetle
Right.
that works with the enzymes that the female part of that tree produces. And if that beetle can't get that enzyme or whatever, then you get more spider mites or whatever fucking thing that grow. See, I got to blame the mites.
She's doing fan fiction with the tree story now.
I totally am doing fan fiction with the tree. And then that takes over. Well, if anybody was a book club member when we read the Overstory, that was like a horror story about what happened to, I think it was the chestnut trees, where it was so sad. They all got sick, and like we lost so many in the United States, and it's like really sad when a whole tree can almost go
ruin
extinct
everything
because of one like little, I don't know, change in the whole ecosystem. Fuck that, man.
Yeah, it's bad news bears for sure.
Bad news.
And probably
invasive species.
Bad news for bears.
Yeah.
Okay, did you see on Netflix there was a freaking docuseries about DB Cooper?
it keeps coming up in my suggestions. Is this the guy who like jumped out of a plane with the money and is like, and is, okay, did I might be making this up. Did the Grateful Dead write a song about him?
I don't know. That was not included.
Because I feel I may have confused hearing this story when I was younger from somebody who was a Grateful Dead fan and the Grateful Dead writing a story about this, which is, why memories are
they
completely
may have.
unreliable.
It seems like something they would do.
Right. Tell me about
D.B.
this.
Cooper did become sort of a folk hero because he skyjacked a plane. You know, they gave him $200,000. He jumped out of the plane with a parachute and then was never seen again. And we still don't know who it was. And so he is this, you know, it's like a folk hero because he didn't hurt anybody. And he kind of like stuck it to the man and got money and then was like, peace out. And I liked like the first episode and a little further in. I was like, okay, because they're telling the story of how he did it and who some of the main suspects were over the years. That's fun. Yeah. And then I just got so annoyed because like what it became for me was just like white people are so weird. Like they're all
too much privilege, too much free time.
Yeah, and there's all these like D.B. Cooper obsessors.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They call themselves the Cooperites, and they're all white.
That's not even a good name.
Right. It's not even punny.
Right.
Right. And so
the D.B. Cooper super sleuthers. There, you could go. I mean, come on. That only took me 10 seconds.
It writes
to come
itself.
Up with that. I didn't even put any thought into that, and I came up with that.
It's like
the Cooper sleuthers or something like that.
That's so good, Sarah.
Those are better.
Yeah, you're right. And these idiots sit around. They go to conventions and talk about who they think it was, and it's just like,
Well, were the Flat Earther Society meetings full?
Truly, that is exactly what I thought. For a documentary I never watched, the Flat Earther...
See, I do judge sometimes.
You should do it more. It's great.
Yeah, it's fun, huh?
The Flat Earther thing did give me an understanding of
it's the community.
These communities. But truly...
See, now I'm going to be
all the people that they interviewed and that got obsessed and spent all this money trying to find the guy, it's like I have not heard from that many annoying, overconfident white men since like I did a tweet about Joe Rogan. Like,
oh my God, remember that? Ooh.
That did not go well.
That did not go well.
And
I do not recommend.
That it was my end up takeaway.
Yeah, that's really annoying when it's just like...
Who cares who he was?
Who cares?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He didn't hurt anybody. And like it's 50 years ago. Get over it.
What do you wish they were doing instead?
Like helping women. That's it. And
like,
black people.
Listen, white men. I know that you're in retirement and, you know, maybe you're a war veteran. Maybe you're a Grateful Dead fan. I don't know. But you should be not having this hobby. You should be helping women.
By the way, this is a total non sequitur, but you know how I went to Banjo Night in Pittsburgh?
Yes, those pictures were so cute. Well, I loved it.
It was
Tell
great.
me everything.
I loved it too, but the last time I had gone was 10 years ago. And so it's different now. It's the same people playing the banjos.
Yeah. What's different?
The crowd. It's all these hipster people that like just want the cheap beer at the Elks Lodge.
Got it.
Yeah.
It used to be real banjo enthusiasts.
And I kid you not, I almost got into a physical fight with some girl.
Susie! This is amazing. Tell me fucking everything. Susie just got mad at the person who's seeing it ironically. Don't go to the spam museum.
Like, I was so pissed. And it's so stupid, but...
No, this is not stupid.
Thank you.
I would fist fight somebody who like
disrespect,
was trying to shit on something.
Yes.
That like or was like making. Tell me everything. What did she do? What did she say? What did you think? What did you feel?
Okay.
What kept you from punching her?
Well, So it was a packed house, and they were right behind me, and they were real chatty and super loud about it and totally not listening to the banjo players. And there's like a main banjo guy that introduces the songs and stuff, and he kept referring to them, being like, "What? These people aren't even listening." And he was upset about it.
Well, good, as he should be. Not good that he was upset, but I'm glad he was calling him out. So
but they were oblivious. They had no idea because they were totally, self-involved. And so eventually, I get mad, and then it grows inside of me.
Yes.
And you've probably seen this before. And I'm quiet, and I don't do anything, and then it explodes.
Yes.
And I turn around, and I was like, "Shut up!
Yes.
All I can hear is you!" And this girl, she must have been 22.
Good. Get her, Susie.
And she did that thing where, like, she just, like, looks around at the rest of the table, like, "Look at this girl, all mad. What the fuck?"
Oh,
but
hell
wouldn't
no.
even acknowledge what I was saying.
Hell no.
And she kept doing it. And then this lady came over to sell, like, 50-50 raffle tickets. And she goes, "Would you like to buy some tickets?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll buy some, but I'll buy twice as many if you tell that table to shut the fuck up." And that lady, she's at that age where you don't give a shit anymore. Like when you're like postmenopausal.
Yes.
And she was like,
didn't
even say a word. She just spinned around and went over.
She was like, "I've been dying for an excuse."
She's like, "We rent this place. I'll tell them to leave. You want me to tell them to leave?" And I was like,
that's so
"Joanne,
great.
you are my new favorite person."
Joanne,
Anyway,
I love her.
They didn't shut up, and I said to Adam, "I am currently preparing to go to war with her outside. Like, I will have to take her outside eventually."
Yeah. Oh my God.
That is so
banjo,
rude. These guys are like
rude.
9,000 years old.
Right. That I have nothing but support and like encouragement for you having those kind of feelings for that. And because it's not, it's rude on so many levels.
Yeah.
And you're ruining the experience for everybody else. You're disrespecting these people who are being vulnerable and sharing their art and like, and it's like so self-centered.
Yeah.
And you've been warned and talked to and still do it, which now you are just willfully violating the boundaries that people have already set and the, request for change in behavior. And so now we have a problem.
We do. Yes. And I mean,
there needs to be consequences.
She's lucky that she didn't, try to, because she did the right thing.
Challenge with us.
Truly, because there is a point that I break.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I see red. I just smoke out of my ears type of cartoon situation. Yeah. Anyway, but changing.
When have I seen that? Have I seen that in you? Maybe like one time.
Probably
all I can
not.
Think about,
because, why?
I don't think so. Because you weren't even the only time was when you were on the challenge and it was you condescend me, I'll condescend you. And that one, but you weren't really seeing red then. No. You were just using you were just matching somebody's level.
No.
You weren't mad in a way. I don't think I've ever really seen you.
My family calls me the bulldozer, and it really is just like a breaking point. And then I will charge like a bull.
Nice.
What? I have no transition, but
let's see if I can help with this.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Noom?
It's going to be hard.
Well, Noom is an amazing app that can help you stay on track with your goals and maybe help
your goal is I don't know, controlling your rage and anger.
Right. What if I put that in? They'll be like, "What are your goals?" And I'll be like, to put the bulldozer in the garage. Mm-hmm. If you maybe want to have more energy, you want to work out every day, whatever it is, they'll help you stay on track. And it's cognitive behavioral therapy approach. And my friends, I won't say their names because I don't know if they want me to, a husband and wife just joined a few months ago. They both have lost 15 pounds.
Whoa!
And they're so happy. And
that's amazing.
They said that they find that the little chunks of information are helpful, and then there's little quizzes so that you confirm that you actually learned what they're trying to teach you. And it's just a way to stay on track. You know, progress is not a straight line. There's ups and downs. And they acknowledge that. And I think that's helpful to people to know, like, yeah, you fucked up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom Weight's psychology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com/braincandy. That's NOOM.com/braincandy to sign up for your trial today. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so at least I didn't get to a fist fight. That would have been hilarious. I
would support this one, though.
I thank you. Thanks for acknowledging and validating my feelings.
100%.
I watched this thing on YouTube, and it was a video about an autobiography, or maybe they're calling it a biography, of Steve Jobs. But Steve, like, participated in all these interviews for it, so I don't know which they would call it. But right before he died, he asked this guy to write a book about his life. And so he then died, and then the book came out, and the author's talking about it and describing how Steve Jobs is, like, real quote-unquote complicated person, you know, which is like code for a man who's a complete dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how, like, you know, we
would never call a woman a complicated person.
No. Like Anna Wintour, nobody says that. They just say, like, she's kind of crazy.
Right.
Yeah. And so he was describing how that difficult personality and the complexities of Steve Jobs were the reason that he changed the world, like by creating these amazing products like the iPod and the iPhone and the blah, blah, blah. And he was saying that he would give the team like a deadline, like, you have to code this whole thing by next Tuesday. And they'd be like, that's not possible. And he'd be like, too bad, you have to do it. And they called it magical thinking, which is another code way of saying, like, he's a slave driver. Or I'm probably not allowed to say that anymore. Creating a terrible work environment for people who then can't, like, go home to their families.
What about Taskmaster?
Okay, yeah, Taskmaster. Taskmaster. That's better.
Yeah.
Although maybe not, because Master's in
I
it.
know, right? Because I'm like, how about that one? That's why I was wondering.
No, that's a good question.
In that,
but anyway, a complete prick. Anyway, they'd get it done by the deadline, and he'd be like, see, you can do it. But, like, meanwhile, their families are neglected and stuff. Yeah. But the thing that I found compelling was when he got sick. He had pancreatic cancer, and he was among the 5% of people who have pancreatic cancer that is curable. And so the doctors are like, bad news is you have pancreatic cancer. The good news is you're one of the 5% where we just go in there, take it out, and you should be good. And he said no and chose to just, like, eat organic and, like, meditate instead because magical thinking.
Right.
He thought, I don't need you. I'm going to fix this myself.
Magical thinking is a thing that I write in my notes as a symptom, as something that is not good.
Right. It's delusion.
It's delusion. We work on that. And magical thinking, as witchy as I am, and as much as you'd think I would like something like that, is something I try to bring people's awareness to and train people to not engage in.
Well, yeah, because it's sort of like, I used to hear people in the church saying, like, pray, but wear a seatbelt. Like, you can have faith and try to be a positive thinker and still get the tumor removed, you idiot.
Right. Exactly. It's you have a broken bone, you still need to put a cast on. If you think that you're going to, you can use the power of positive thought to reduce the feelings of anxiousness while wearing the cast, or maybe even speed up the healing process so when you get out of the cast, you're able to get back to normal function faster. But it does not negate the need for a fucking cast.
Right. Yeah, he made a fatal error, literally. And I'm sure he regretted it. Because 9 months later, when it wasn't getting better, he was like, okay, go ahead and get it. And they were like, it's too late now, man.
Too late. Oh.
And then...
Well, he really did... I mean... this is with so many, I don't know, traits, habits, quirks, personality, the parts of our personality. There are good things that come with it, and there are bad things that come with it. And there are these like superpowers that we have, but there are also these consequences sometimes. There's a flip side to it.
Right. You call it the shadow.
The shadow self, yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. And I think there are a lot of things that because of the success that Steve Jobs had in building the empire, the whole thing that he did, and in creating all of the products that he created, we overlook some of the symptoms or quirks, whatever you want to call it, of a neurodivergent mind. This is all part of kind of like spectrum type behavior.
Is it?
That, like the individuals that I know that are on the spectrum can often get it in their head that they have all the information on whatever the topic is, because they can get highly fixated and focused on something. They research it, they find out everything about it based on their research and their knowledge, and they can easily believe that's it, that's the right way, that's all the information that, and sometimes that's works to somebody's advantage because it I don't know, allows for alternative ways of thinking and creating a new, I don't know, different way to look at it. But sometimes it's trying to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. And the wheels are, and you're like, pancreatic doctor's got it over here. We don't need your, like.
Yeah. We weren't building a phone. We're treating cancer.
So, like, you're good at doing that, but you might need to use a specialist in this area over here. And, like, I don't know. Who knows what the reasons for that were, but I do feel like it is sometimes hard to switch the mind of somebody who is on the spectrum to like convince them of, just get them to see an alternative. They become fixated
and
on
you're
something.
right, sometimes that can really be great, and then other times it can work against you, same as any other trait.
Totally.
Another thing that was really interesting was that he was adopted and eventually found his birth mom and a birth sister. And the birth sister said she wanted to find the dad, and Steve was like, "Yeah, I want to too." But like she found him, and Steve was like, "You go and meet him, and don't tell him anything about me. Just you do it. I'm happy just that you know he's there." So the sister goes and meets the dad, and he's a Syrian immigrant, and he was a PhD, but he owned a restaurant in Texas, and he said, "Oh, but I used to own a restaurant in California, and everybody came there, even Steve Jobs."
Oh,
and
stop it!
Yes, can you imagine?
Stop it!
And so she didn't tell him, but then she went back to Steve and was like, "Oh my God!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I did. I met him. I didn't know that was my dad."
Was the first.
Can you believe? So that's kind of magical.
Those are the things that are magical.
Fun.
That's actually magical.
Can you? I mean, I'm sure everyone has things that maybe once you die you learn about, where you met somebody that like.
That's amazing. I love those
was related
stories.
to you and you didn't know it. That is so cool.
The people, like the story, that you see, like every now and then you'll see this on, like, I don't know, Instagram or like TikTok or something, where it'll be like a woman whose mom passed away when she was little, and she wished that her husband got to meet her mom, and then she finds out that her husband was her mom was a teacher and her husband was one of her students, and she didn't even know. And I'm like, oh God, that is the best. It's like meant to be.
It's wild. It really is when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
I always
like you were going to meet this person no matter what.
Yeah. And they met and shook hands and did not even know that they were father and son. That is wild.
Gosh. Yeah, I feel like I just heard a story like that too with somebody where it was like, oh yeah, I went out to brunch with this couple who they met on like a dating app and then found out that their parents or like their aunts or something like that went to school together in Hawaii. And, like, this was in a totally different state, and they, like, randomly met. So there was a chance that they were at a wedding together, like, years ago. And they met on, like, a dating app.
That is
And they told the whole story, and there were so many connections. And I was like, oh, come on. If you don't marry this woman, like, this is, like, the universe needs you guys to be together.
Yeah, it's a public service. Like, you have to.
It's a public, like, at that point, come on, for goodness sakes, get together.
And he did have.
That's so fucking cool.
He did have a fear of death, and he didn't like the finality of it.
Wait.
I know. It's so weird. What?
Wait.
What?
You have a fear of death, but they're like, hey,
Yeah.
here's the cure.
That's how
And you're
deluded
like,
he was.
Nah, I'm good.
But he one time said that because of his fear of death, that's why he didn't really like. He often didn't put on/off buttons on his devices. Even, you know how it's hard to turn off Apple products sometimes.
It is,
and sometimes there's
there
not
really
even a
isn't
power
an
button.
on/off button, right?
And that was why
There
'cause
isn't like on TV on the like my mom's like I don't know,
Like iPods.
Where the fuck is the
Yeah.
on button? Like I have no idea. You have to
It's
like,
always
press
like
multiple
Morse
buttons
code.
to turn
Like
on.
push this once and then
Right.
spin it up in the air.
This is one of those where human quirks and human
Are reflected in
I don't know these
machinery.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they just it finds its way into the design of the product and it becomes normalized to us, but it's somebody's kind of I don't know odd personality quirk or like behavior. Like weird behavior thing that then we're like, oh yeah, it's normal. It's like fine.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that was creepy. I was like, wow, I'm glad I watched that because that is insightful and super weird. All of it, the whole story.
Wow,
And we, you remember
wow.
I think for book club, we chose his daughter's
Yes.
book and how he like
Right.
was a complete dick.
Well, this is making a lot of sense
Yeah.
now to me. The fact that he's adopted and his reaction to wanting to meet his dad makes sense when, like, I can understand why he, in a way, couldn't connect to his daughter's desire to have a relationship with
But
him.
he said he was traumatized by that feeling of abandonment that sometimes adopted people can feel. Even though they were chosen by parents, there is a
Right,
sense of
right.
like, why didn't my birth parent want me? And how could he then do the same thing to this child? Like, he wouldn't even take a paternity test for 10 years. And then the judge made him, so he did. He relented because
Maybe
he had
there's
to.
a fear of not wanting to be that
Yeah.
would just like if that would just solidify that he is that person and it's similar to somebody who abandoned him and he can't face that. It's very layered.
Yeah, and that's
And-
like true for all of us. We all are contradictory in a million ways.
Totally.
I get it.
And we repeat patterns like we can't even help it. It's like whatever we were grew up exposed to, like we have to kind of work to kind of undo those things, or often we just find ourselves like, oh wow, I'm really responding in the same way my parent did despite all my efforts to not.
Yeah, we all do that stuff. But it's just so severe in him because he has such a big story and a big personality and a big whatever, so it just feels like his failures feel really big too.
Yeah.
Any hoodles, it was interesting.
He's human and he's flawed.
Yeah, whatevs. I mean, he's a dick. Okay.
Yeah, he's a total dick.
I mean, he was.
And like maybe is that the trade-off in a way?
Yeah, right.
That if you're going to be really good at creating something that in a way limits human interaction, is it a surprise that you're not good at human interaction?
But some people would say that he is responsible for our connectivity in a digital world.
Yeah, I think. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I mean, I get that part, but it's like
at the cost of
like,
actual intimacy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like it, I don't know. It's so, like we said before, it's the same thing with the feminist stuff, and like that society gives with one hand, takes with the other. That it's like it's like you get all these great things from it, but this is the cost. It's going to take, I don't know, sort of fits, but what else? Ugh!
Yeah.
Scary.
Okay, last thing.
Yeah.
You know how people, sometimes like PETA, the organization PETA,
familiar.
Members of PETA or other causes do these stunts where...
Yes. Right.
They'll
we're freeing all the animals. We're like climbing up a building. We're like,
Or they'll throw
dumping
shit
paint
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
was so scared when I like had a leopard print coat that was like vintage and leopard print. I was like, I lived in San Francisco. I was like, please don't throw paint on me. Please don't throw paint on me. Please don't throw paint on me. Like, anywhere where I walked down the street.
Did you pretend like it was faux?
Probably, but it was not. It was like vintage. It was torn up. It like had like all these rips on the inside. I had to like falling apart, but it was
legit.
Real.
Wow, leopard, man.
I don't know what happened to that. Yeah, it was like I should have kept that. Fuck. Anyways, San Francisco vintage store years ago.
Well, I've never been a fan of that technique in terms of like either raising awareness or punishing people for whatever. But there's this new thing where people are going into museums. You probably saw where somebody threw like a cake or something at Mona Lisa.
Oh, yes. But
there's also this thing where they're going in and gluing themselves to the artwork.
I saw this.
I'm mad about it. Well, basically it's just to raise awareness about climate change, but...
Yeah, but that doesn't.
I'm just so annoyed.
But how does that raise awareness about climate change?
Yeah.
Like, show me how. Show me what, like, how.
Do you have data on that?
Right.
Yeah.
This is how I feel about the stupid birds being... Remember when I was mad the conspiracy theory about the birds being fake and they're like drones or something? Birds aren't real. And then that was fake just to raise awareness of... conspiracy theories being like, I'm like, that doesn't work.
I think you're onto something because what you sense is that is not actually their goal. Their goal is just attention. Period.
Yes.
Not for the cause, but for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct. 100% correct. And you're just using the cause as a platform to get the attention.
Right.
Because there are other ways to go. Like, how about writing a petition and going around and collecting signatures, or like running for office, or like changing local politics and like...
Right, that's what I said about your protest of the damn Amazon Prime. I'm like, just lobby your congressperson instead and get the free delivery.
Fight for like unions and wage rights and wages and fair wages and all this stuff.
Don't glue yourself to something at the Louvre like a weirdo. It's gross.
That's not even like what. And now you're glued to something. Have you ever like... There are a few holes in. There's a few problems that I have with that, just logistically, like what we're talking about. Any strong adhesive that you're going to use requires time to set. If anybody's used Gorilla Glue, they're like, you got to like put that in a vise and clamp and like leave it for 12 hours.
Yeah,
and then it's dry. And anybody who's got the same like toxic trait that I do, which is trying to wiggle something you've just glued together before the designated time it has told you to wait for it to dry.
Big mistake.
It will come undone and it will not stay glued. Or it's super glue, in which case, like...
You're a dumbass.
Like, you're an idiot.
And now you're stuck.
And that's going to, like, really hurt. Or, like, I can't think of a glue that's instant drying that... Like, what are they even using? And it's definitely not hot glue.
They didn't say.
Crafters aren't doing this shit. This isn't a crafter.
No.
This ain't
Crafters
people.
would never do this.
Crafters would never. We knit hats.
They love art, too. They would never.
They love art. Crafters would never.
Right.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Crafters would never.
Crafters would never.
They have too much respect for themselves.
I need to know,
others.
like, I really do want to know what the fuck kind of glue they thought they were.
I love that
they
that's
were using.
what you want to know.
Yeah, because like when you're doing something for show, like to make a point.
Yeah, you want to poke holes in it.
Yeah, like I need it to be well thought out, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to chain yourself to a tree, you can't use like fuzzy handcuffs with that like break open, or like, you know, Fisher Price policeman handcuffs or whatever that are like I don't know, do they have those? That'd be
Right,
weird.
like cops and robbers.
Like for like little like right.
Yeah.
Or you know, give me something like really make sure like you're I don't know, or it just feels like I'm honestly going to Google this.
Yeah.
I almost like Google, which is funny.
She's going to Google it. And
Google it. Okay, people glue themselves.
I support the cause. I just don't think this
Right,
is
me too.
effective. And it's a mess. I don't like a mess.
Climate activists glue themselves to paintings. Okay, I need to know what kind of glue they used.
That is really
This is
funny.
very important. It seems like that, like, yeah, to like just stop oil. Come on, this is dumb.
What if you found out it was rubber cement? What would you think? Good or bad?
That's dumb. It doesn't work. That doesn't work.
What about Elmer's?
No. I can't think of any glue that would work for this.
Besides, what do you call it? This
Super glue.
Yeah, super glue. That one would work.
Yeah. In which case you are now...
It's in the New York Times,
Like-
the article.
Yeah, they just don't say anything about the glue.
They didn't know people wanted to know that.
How many, like, that's what I also would like a poll of. How many people are interested, would even give a fuck?
I think now that you mention it, people will say, yeah, what?
Because they're like, yeah, what did they use?
But I don't think anyone else would have thought of that.
Because, like, so, and also, here's the other thing that I'm mad about.
Yeah.
What you should be protesting in a museum, like, I almost wouldn't be mad if they were doing this. If they were saying, this is all stolen.
Oh, yeah,
And-
yeah, like antiquities.
Yes.
Yeah, the
And they were like, fuck you, colonizers.
Yeah, or like,
this
this is male-created art.
Yeah.
But it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with
It has
art.
nothing to do with the art itself. So basically, you're in an effort to stop people from destroying one thing, you destroyed another.
Exactly. Two wrongs don't make a right.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like it. And if you ask me, this falls under falls into the umbrella of littering. Littering and graffiti are like,
Two peas in a pod. Yep.
yes. Yes. This is like this destroying public property and littering.
Nope. No.
Right there.
So there you have it. Let's wind it down.
Whew. We need to, man. I might
worked
punch
up.
somebody in the fucking face. I might go full banjo hall on her on these people. Which is what I'm going to call it now. Anytime somebody gets worked up, I'm like, oh, that guy's going fucking full banjo
I should
hall.
have Adam tell you what it was like, because I don't think I did it justice how escalated it became. Like, it was really getting intense, and I was
I want
ready.
Adam's version of this story.
because
with the
he
big
didn't like
eyes
it.
and
He
the-
thought I was really being silly. He was like, "What? You know?"
Being silly.
He agreed with me, but he's just like, "No good's gonna come of you yelling at somebody." At
He's like, oh, this is why she was on a reality show.
yeah,
I see now.
Yeah, he definitely knows why.
That's funny.
Anyway, Victoria's Secret can go fuck itself.
Question, though.
Yeah.
A very important question. Have you ever punched somebody?
I mean, there was an incident one time
Wow.
at
Okay, well,
Lone
we'll save
Star
that for another
Steakhouse and
day.
Saloon, but I wouldn't call it a punch.
I thought you were going to say like my brother or sister or like, you know, I don't know what, but it was a
There
person.
was a little bit of a fight,
Like,
but it was short and
Lone Star Steak, you know, who hasn't
Yeah.
gotten into a fight? at Lone Star?
you know, everything's bigger in Texas, you know? Okay. Male trees, you got that. If you have allergies, you got to fight the man.
Fight the man.
D.B. Cooper.
Fucking patriarchy.
Who done it? We don't know. Get over it.
Get over it.
And then Steve Jobs. Big mistake.
Yeah, this was like a subtle patriarchy
Yeah, totally.
episode, but like subtle, but like not
Yeah.
overt. You know, it was like
Yeah, it's like the underpinning.
we're mad. Yes, we're mad, but like that's all things. So there you go.
That's so true. That could be every episode.
That's every
and really
episode.
is.
Yes.
Can you guys check out our merch and leave us a review and subscribe?
Yeah,
That would be
We got
great.
such great merch. Oh, shout out to Bendy Wendy,
I
who
love Bendy Wendy.
looking so stinking cute in the matching. You know how I love a matching workout set.
Yeah.
And she got the sports bra and the pants. The
Yes.
brain candy. Why didn't I think?
Why
to do
didn't
that?
I?
Like, why didn't I?
Yeah.
Hello, I gave my sports bra to my mom like a good daughter because she got needs it more than I
Yeah.
do. And you're not thinking that I could also.
You
have
could have
a
looked that
matching set.
cute.
So now I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah. Good idea, Bendy Wendy. We love you. And we love all our brainiacs.
So good.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.